Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakabadash, and of course, double honors once again go out to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who, through the Holy Spirit, continue to give us His truth. Um, this is Nama with the DC camp, and I meant to do this like a couple of weeks ago. Forgot about it, came across it again, but this just goes to prove how this devil never wants to let you go, and through his uh, unrighteous decrees, laws, his paperwork. All right, this is how this devil keeps a hold of you. In this particular instance, we're talking about, it says Americans, this is from Newsweek, it says Americans wishing to renounce citizenship. So they just want to cut ties. You know, fuck you, bye-bye, whatever. It says they can't get U.S. to process applications. So these are people that have moved abroad sometimes decades ago, forgot all about this shit, you know, put America past them, all right, or so they thought. It says, it goes on to say, individuals living abroad who hold American citizenship have discovered that their ability to establish new ties outside of U.S. soil have been thwarted by the nation's inability to process their applications to renounce their American citizenship. As detailed in a Friday report by The Guardian, some 30,000 Americans seeking to renounce their citizenship have faced barriers to process since the onset of, guess what, that bug. All right. As U.S. embassies, including the one in London, are currently unable to accept appointments for loss of nationality application. That's bullshit. All right. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to keep reading. Remember, when it comes to this devil, all right, guess what it's all about? Continuing on, it says the U.S. State Department required a face-to-face interview before U.S. citizens can renounce their citizenship, but has put these meetings on pause due to concerns regarding the bug. All right. It says, however, for some of those looking to start a new life abroad, this halt in the process has put a direct strain on their pockets. A 2010 law known as the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, FATCA, requires banks and other financial institutions overseas to report any clients they suspect of holding U.S. citizenship to the IRS. So you can see, since this wicked ass agency, talking about the IRS, since its inception, you can see this is just another tether, Tether, to bind. Well, let's get that real quick. Tether. All right. All right. Let's go to Merriam-Webster dictionary. I'm surprised I had to go that far down. It says definition of tether: a line as of rope or chain by which an animal is fastened so as to restrict its range of movement. A line to which someone, this is B, a line to which someone or something is attached as for security. And that's exactly what they've done. And as I read on, that's going to become more clear to you. It says, talking about that law, 2010 law known as FATCA, the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, it says Americans living abroad must declare their income to the IRS, which can then impose potential taxes. Eritrea is the only other country with a policy like this. Wow. So these things, when I mentioned just a bit earlier about the IRS and its wickedness, you got to consider with the Federal Reserve Act. These were all things, and then the 16th Amendment, you know, way back in the day. All these things were what? Something else by which to bind its citizens, all right, to this place. And as you're going to see here, this it caught up some people you didn't expect. It says the effects of FATCA, hold on. The effects of FATCA drew public attention in 2017 when the United Kingdom's Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who was born in the U.S. but had not lived there since the age of five, received a request from the IRS to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxes he made in a profit from the sale of his London home. America's law also impacted another politician, Marie Sock, the first woman to run as a presidential candidate in the Gambia. Sock holds U.S. citizenship and was forced to drop out of the race after not meeting the constitutional requirement that a candidate not possess citizenship with another country. To meet this requirement, I contacted the American Embassy in the Gambia last year, and again this year on several occasions for the purpose of renouncing my American citizenship. I appealed to a senior U.S. Embassy official to accept my renunciation to begin the process. However, because of the bug pandemic, the U.S. Embassy was not conducting any services except in emergency cases. Well, wouldn't that qualify? But no, see, this is more, these are things, and this is just one of many things that we try to tell you is one of the reasons why this devil has got to go. And he is a devil. There's no way to win. This is someone who has got the mindset, first of all, I'm always right. And then, you know, therefore you're going to do things my way. And you can tell that he's got the world enslaved, all right? And this bug is just another means to facilitate getting this injection, all right, which is making you, what people don't realize, just another step in making you physically a part of his new world order, which is nanotech and everything. This has nothing to do with the bug that they advertise. It's just a vehicle by which to get this juice in you, all right, which is going to alter you. And I mean, let's get some scriptures. I've gone too long without getting them. But man, I just had to read this as much verbatim so you can get it. But this is why, all the more reason, when you go back in history, King David hated these Edomites, these so-called white people. And you got to understand, they were nowhere near as sophisticated as they are now. So how much more now when you understand what's going on? But let's go ahead and let's start at Psalm 17. All right. Let's start at 8. Start at 8. This is King David. And he says, keep me, verse 8, keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Why? It says, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly. Let's go into that, their own fat. All right. And this is another reason why this devil is so proud. This is because when we go back, we understand that Genesis 27, but you got to read 25. with the birth of Jacob and his brother Esau. Uh, you can read over to 27, but the point being, starting at 38, where Isaac gives him this blessing. And actually, let's go to it real quick. I'll come back to this. I just have to, I don't like to butcher things. Let's go to Genesis 27. And again, a lot of people say, well, this is where, in 25, Esau sold his birthright. All right. And when you get over here, and a lot of people say, well, Jacob and Rebecca, they tricked. But this goes to his character. And you have to understand, if this was incorrect or wrong, the Most High could easily have corrected it. But people don't understand certain things are done in the spirit. And that's where a lot of people fall short, because they're reading lists, and these devils, these Edomites, they try to be so intellectual about things, and that's why they end up missing the mark. How much so when you understand that, since this is a spiritual book, why are you going to go someone that's carnal like these Edomites? You go to the university to learn about something that's spiritual, which they can't grasp. It makes no sense. So our people, they go and get these fancy degrees from someone that doesn't understand what they're teaching, and they think they've done it. So you got all these churches on every corner, and the scriptures, they correctly call them whorehouses, because that's all they are. All right, and our people are so into Christianity as it is taught, and they don't realize that it's all a sham. It's just a means in which to bind our people, keep them fat, dumb, and stupid, and therefore they will never wake up to who they really are. And therefore, hey, this guy can rule continually, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know who your power is. And prime example is when an Ammonite in Judith, the 5th chapter, is telling Holofernes, he said, these people, when they're right with their power, don't fuck with them, in so many words. But if they're not, and this goes to why, people don't think about this, but why is pork and everything here? See, it's the little things also, all right? It's the little things. And who are they advertising it to? You always see Jake in the commercial. You got this, what's this guy in this Wendy's commercial? He's like almost in tears because he can get a breakfast sandwich with bacon on it and shit. I forget his name. Is it Reggie Bush? I think, and it's going out to our people, all right? They know who they're targeting, but a lot of our people don't understand that they are the prey, P-R-E-Y. All right, so back to this. I didn't mean to go on that tangent, but anyway, Genesis 27:38, like I said, all right, you understand what's going on here. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. This is parabolic now. It doesn't mean he's going to be running down the street with an actual sword. That sword means all manners of weapons of war. This is his blessing. That's why he's got atom bombs and thermonuclear weaponry and all this, because that is his blessing. Everybody has to go to him to learn of these things, point blank. That's his blessing. All right, all kinds of terrible weapons. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. This is why he has, when we go into that fat, it says fatness. Hold on, let me go. I want to bring that up. What is it talking about? As in, all right, Psalm 17, let's go. Fatness, what? Fatness, fat piece, fertile place, richly prepared food, fertile spots of places, all right. Let's see, robust, fat one. Now, let's go, you understand this. Let's go back to Psalms. All right. Oh, crap, I did it again. I don't know why I do that. let's go to back to Psalm 17. Let me go back down to their own fat. Now let's go into that. Enclosing their own fat. All right, that's Strong's H 2459. That's kalab. All right, choicest, the choicest, the best part, abundance of products of the land. This is how he gets these things. Also through deceit. All right, that's another of his blessings, because when we say devil, that just means liar and deceiver. He's got agencies that are set up for that. CIA, NSA, all these agencies. That's his craft. All right. Yeah, so we've covered that. Let's go back to the article. And then I'll come back with some more scriptures. All right. It says 9 U.S. citizens living abroad who have faced SOX situation are now suing the State Department in federal court. The Guardian's right. It says the French-based group Association of Accidental Americans, which has brought the suit forward, told the Guardian that America's inability to allow for renunciation abridges their clients' rights. The U.S. appears intent on preventing its citizens from exercising their natural and fundamental right to voluntarily renounce their citizenship. Newsweek contacted the State Department for comment, but did not receive a response in time for publication. Of course not. Now, get a load of some of these comments, and let's get a few. It says Robert Summerlot. He says, how many voiced their thoughts when Trump became president that said would leave the country, and unfortunately they are still here and still denouncing him? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us remember those people. Someone says, you mean like when 45 said if he lost he would leave the country, and he is still here stirring up racism? Why? Because they're both working together. He's part of that agenda, which some evidently still can't see yet. It says, yeah, still waiting for the bankruptcy king to leave, talking about Trump. And then someone else goes into Whoopi Goldberg and Rosie O'Donnell, all these other people. It says, if you're against America, yes, let them all leave. Take a hike. Don't let the door hit you where the Lord split you. Socialism not wanted in America. And this is an idiot that doesn't realize. He talks about socialism and socialism and socialism. But it's actually through socialism that the rich are getting rich off of us. Think about it. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. No. Denounce your citizenship, come back as an illegal, get free housing, sell. Anyway, they missed the fucking point. All right? Here's Kyle's side, I guess. He gets right to it. So many quote-unquote proud patriots jumping on their soapbox, shouting if you don't like it, then get out. I guarantee not one of them actually read the article. This isn't about people who are in the country leaving. It's about people who moved out of the country years ago, sometimes decades ago, and have established a life in another country, not being able to apply for citizenship in their new country because of their American citizenship, and the IRS still sending them a bill for their yearly taxes. Da-da, and that's exactly it. All right. I mean, this goes to show you that, hey, the American sheeple, and why so many people hate Americans, because they're stupid. All right. Yeah, so that's as far as I'm gonna go on that. I didn't want to take this much time, but yeah, let me continue back in the scriptures. Let's go back. Psalm 17. Like I said, verse 10, they are enclosing their own fat. We just explained what that was, They got it made. That's all they're concerned about. They said with their mouth they speak proudly. And you think of 11 says, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. 13, arise, O Most High Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Psalm 73, what does it say? All right, these are the people that speak where it talks about oppression. All right, Psalm 73, a lot of them, for tax reasons, they moved out. Some just want to get the fuck away, all right, because they realize how fucked up this place really is. Despite all advertisements to the contrary, they see through the shit like we do. A lot of people that come over here that are immigrants, foreign, whatever, how you would classify them, they saw through the shit, they see through the shit, they just come over here to make money and go back home. All right, let's see. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. All right, a lot of these people, they're well off. It says they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. But you got some people that they don't have that kind of money. They just want to get the fuck up out of here. I even thought about it at one time. It says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. Oh, there go that word again. They have more than heart could wish. All right? But the thing is, here is a lot of people, like, let's look at Boris Johnson, as an example. Here it is, the guy, he left, he's 5 years old. I'm sure this was nowhere near, nowhere near on his mind about, guy just sold his house. And all of a sudden he gets a letter, well, because you did this, you owe us this. Like, what? Something like 45 years later, I don't know how old he is, but just as a nice round number, like, who the fuck is what? But that's how this devil works. All right, 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. All right, so these are people that they set up all these policies. They're not, trust me, this country has had an agenda from its inception. All right, and this was never a democracy as advertised. It was initially a republic, when you understand the difference between the two. Having said that, we know that the lie about this being found as a Christian nation, which is a bold-faced lie, this is all set up in witchcraft. Your founding fathers, as they like to always refer to, were heavily in witchcraft, Freemasonry. That's witchcraft. All right. So those old Egyptian and Canaanite and Egyptian gods, whatever have you, that's who they worship. In God we trust. They're not talking about the God of the Hebrews. They're talking about a whole lot of these people are Luciferians. And if you're an Edomite, you have no hope anyway of redemption, repentance. All right. It tells you that in Hebrews 12, verses 16 and 17. Because they are the wicked. All right. Hey, so with that, I'm not going to ramble on. Yeah, this place is through, man. People are trying to, I don't want to say leave in droves, but hey, that's coming. Trust you me. You look at these stores, and all this is being planned. This is not just something that, just happened. No, this has all been planned out. You see the store shelves emptying, your services interrupted. Yeah, it's going to get bad here. It's going to get bad here. All right, hey, so with that, I hope anyone who sees this is edified. But yeah, this is just the beginning of all those woes in Second Ezra's 15. All right, and 16th chapter. That's what we're in now. All right. Hey, so with that, hey, shalom.